Good morning, everyone. We are continuing here in the words of the Horowitz in the Sefer HaMitzvos HaKotzar. New Mitzvah Nun Beis 52. Mitzvos Aseh Litein LaKayin Reishis Hagiz. There is a positive commandment to give to the Kayin what is called the Reishis Hagiz, the first wool of one's sheep. Now this is in line with what we mentioned yesterday, the Matnas Kahuna, the gifts that we give to the Kayin. This is another gift that goes to the Kayin. If you're not a Kayin, you can't become one to receive all of these gifts. Like it says in the verse, the first of the fleece of your sheep you shall give to the Kayin. And what is the proper amount? So Chazal, our sages, have informed us it's 1/60th of the fleece of wool that is there on the sheep. The only animal that is obligated to have his fleece given over to the Kayin are sheep. And he must have at least 5 sheep in his flock. And amongst these 5 sheep, they cannot have any less than 12 sloyim each of weight on their fleece of wool. So it has to be altogether at least 60 sloyim of weight of wool, which is a significant amount of wool that you are going to give. And says the Horowitz, this is the same idea as the gifts that we said right above to the Kohanim, and therefore those halachas apply really in Eretz Yisrael. It would seem that you're obligated to. In Chutz La'aretz, outside the land of Israel, like we said, there's not an obligation. However, the Horowitz did say, it is a good and appropriate thing to do in order to fulfill this mitzvah. Next mitzvah, Nun Gimel, number 53. Mitzvahs aseh lekadesh b'choros peter rechem hazachorim. There is a positive commandment to redeem the firstborn animal of the womb. Shenema kadesh likol b'chor peter kol rechem b'ivnei Yisrael ba'adam u'behema. It says in the verse that you have to consecrate for me every firstborn amongst Klal Yisrael, both ba'adam, man, u'behema, an animal. And there is a mitzvah over here to consecrate the firstborn of a kosher animal. And you say, Harizeh Kodesh, this animal, which is the firstborn, is Kodesh, it is holy, it's sanctified. Shenemar takdish la'Hashem Elokecha. Like it says in the verse, sanctify it, consecrate it, la'Hashem Elokecha, to Hashem your God. Vim lo hikdish, and if a person doesn't consecrate the firstborn animal, nevertheless, it still becomes consecrated in and of itself, since that the first animal that is born is holy by its very nature. Therefore, even if you don't make the declaration, you don't do the procedure of consecrating it, it is still going to be holy. In our time, when we don't have a Beis HaMikdash, so you cannot bring this animal up, the Bechor, as a sacrifice. That's what you would do with the animal. The first one we brought up on the altar as a korban, as a sacrifice to Hashem. We don't have that option today, so what do we do? So what do you do then? You end up allowing the firstborn animal just to graze in the fields until it gets a mum, a blemish. And then, once it gets a blemish, it can no longer be used as a korban. And then the shaykh the kayin, then it belongs to the kayin, and you would give it to him. This is a mitzvah that applies both to men and to women. Everybody has a mitzvah to do this with the firstborn animal. That's the animal, and Be'ez Hashem will continue tomorrow, and we'll see the obligation of the firstborn son that a person has, how that belongs to the kain as well, and we'll see what we do in order to be able to keep our children at home with us and not in the hands of the Kohanim. Have a wonderful day.